Okay, people. So anyway, what happened here is something got, I guess when I got home and I started, Andre, please. And I started to do that video, I don't know, my camera blinked out. So whether I was recording or whether it just blinked out and erased everything, I don't know. I only got like 6 minutes of what was when I turned it back on. But as I'm sitting here going through this interview that I had with Crystal tonight, right? I'm I'm trying to listen what she's saying here, right? And, you know, it's kind of like a deja vu. Get rid of your stuff. What is it with people that have incomes that are over $80,000 a year and up, right? $100,000, $150,000, $80,000, $90,000, even $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Oh, I'd put it at $60,000, $70,000 and up, right? What is it with these people that live in, you know, in houses that have like garages that are the same square footage as my whole living space, right? And they have incomes of over, you know, $70,000 and up a year. And chances are there's two in a house in terms of, you know, a couple. And so, you know, that's $200,000 a year. And, you know, they've got multiple TVs and, you know, they've got 3 or 4 dining room sets that are 12-seaters in their monster homes or whatever homes they live in. The point is they're allowed to have things. They're allowed to have belongings. You know, they're allowed to have their collector cars. They're allowed to have whatever it is that they want. And we know how some of these people get this stuff, please, people, because all you have to do is just look at Uncle John. Uncle John was just the tip of the iceberg. Okay? The only reason they were interested in Uncle John is because he had money. That's the only reason, people. And they thought they would get lucky with that bonanza with the superannuation life insurance policy from the province, which would have been another, what, $500,000 million free cash for whoever got him. Whether it would have been the public guardian and trustee, or in this case, Uncle John was just a bone for the corrupt nurse. Okay? But if you notice, through my videos, I was requested to get rid of things. Throw out this, throw out that, get rid of this, hide that, hide. You can't have anything. You can't have children's toys. You can't have building materials. You can't. Just like I'm listening to this Crystal, this woman, her name Crystal, talking about how out there, they don't want the people to have anything. Mocking the few possessions that they have, saying that they need a rummage sale. Like, this is some serious evil stuff that is going on in society today. Very predatory and very evil. Okay? I don't know what makes these people seem to think that they're entitled to have, at the taxpayers' expense, people. It's the taxpayers that pay these people to be publicly abusive. Right? Publicly negligent. As they spin their propaganda with, we serve and protect. They did not serve Uncle John, and they sure in hell did not protect him. And they're not protecting this family. Okay? Because if that was the case, we wouldn't be in such a lawless society where people under a certain tax bracket, 70,000 and under, are expected to get rid of our belongings to accommodate those above $70,000 a year. And the more money you make, the more you accumulate, the more those people expect those below 70,000 to get rid of their belongings. That's twisted. That is a mental illness in itself. That is beyond greed. So anyway, I just want to put this first, then the part that clipped in after my camera kicked out, and then I'm going to put the rest of my evening as I connected with the people out on the streets tonight, at the request of them asking me to come and to talk about this stuff. Which makes me feel valued, people. They didn't forget. They didn't forget that a couple of years ago I was out there like a dirty shirt fighting for them. But then the city jumped on board and started making it so that I became almost like one of them. Right? Only because Uncle John was medically kidnapped, and as he was being medically kidnapped for his assets, these houses out here are being used as a commodity to bring in genocide in Canada, right? So that the union can protect their superannuation life insurance policies, their pension plans, their disability plans, their dental plans, their healthcare plans, as they continue to abuse the people that they're employed to serve. That would make a very good novel. Now, why would the camera just die? It still has 46 minutes on there. Was it because it's cold? I was outside for that length of time? Even the camera's dying from the cold, people. Anyway, knock, knock, knock at the door. I go to the door. I'm looking. I said, yes. Oh, we're looking for Lisa. I said, Lisa? Who's Lisa? Well, we were told she came in here. I said, there is no Lisa here. I don't know a Lisa. Oh, well, meantime, I got these guys running up and down this way. You know, standing over there, standing over there. It was a fucking SWAT team looking for Lisa. Well, can we come in? I said, come in? I said, aren't you guys being a little intrusive? He looked at me. I said, yeah, exactly. Like, I got nothing to hide. If you want to come in and look around for Lisa, you're not going to find Lisa, because I don't even know a Lisa. I said, maybe it's a neighbor over there. You know, go bother those people next door. Those ones that like to call MCFD all the time, call the fucking cops. Lisa ran into their house. Why don't you go bother them? Anyway, they ended up going over there and running through my yard and shit. Like, what the fuck? 74 infractions under the Criminal Code of Canada, people. Why aren't the cops doing something about that? Huh? Why aren't they doing something about the fact that they're drugging up old people just so that their assets can be stolen, as they're criminalizing and terrorizing and causing severe brain trauma on the most vulnerable that were born in this country? Oh, what gives them the right to treat those people out there like that? Oh, because you're an addict. Go treat Uncle John like that then, if that's how you feel about it. Oh, but you got his money, right? You got him tucked away like a dirty little secret. So Uncle John is taken care of, right? He gets his ass wiped once a day. That's quality health care. But these people get absolutely nothing because drugs are being held over their head. When not everybody out there is a drug addict. And even if they are a drug addict, what is the difference between them with their heroin and Uncle John with his Oxycontin, Codon, or whatever they're called? Heroin is heroin. They turned John into a heroin addict. That's what they did. So that they could steal his money as they're destroying his family and trying to force us out there because it's genocide in Canada. Because these people that are doing this shit is all union. Government employees. Whether it's provincial or whether it's municipal. I don't know about the federal. Never really see the federal guys around. Can't blame the federal government for this. This is a provincial problem. And it started under the BC Liberal government, as they were wheeling and dealing with China, with their MLAs flying across to China and cutting deals with China, and then coming over here, these MLAs under the BC Liberal government, and buying up all these properties as their friends from China started to buy up all these properties that are forcing more and more and more people out onto the streets. to be terrorized for being sick and not getting proper health care. Nobody is protecting them. The police are not protecting them. The healthcare system is not protecting them. The province is not protecting them. Nobody is protecting them. But they were sure quick to protect Uncle John and accuse me of a whole bunch of crap that they're fucking afraid to take to fucking court and tell me to my face in court what it was that I did wrong. It's all rumorville and gossip. Just so they could steal his money, people. And they were hoping for the bonanza with the superannuation life insurance policy because the majority, 99.9% of these welfare entitlement government employees seem to think that they can leave $1 million to their bratty fucking kids and carry on with the next generation of abuse against the most vulnerable. And then when their time comes to get their ass wiped, they'll think that they'll have enough money to prevent that from happening to them. Because their family loves them. And they'll make sure that they don't end up in some old folks' home being run by some Chinese company after it's been sold off and privatized. As these people die a miserable death out there, being tortured and harassed by the police. As the police laugh. Well, what kind of fucking society is that? Now, because I've done this video, does it mean that in about a month from now, I'm going to be coming up here and saying, oh, guess what's going on in my life now? I brought it on myself because I sat up here and told the truth. I told the truth about what kind of fucking lousy politics and what kind of shitty fucking human beings live in the province of British Columbia, Canada, that want to call themselves the epitome of what is right in our society. What's coming my way now? Okay, people. So what is it? November 10th? I'm up by where all the homeless people are. We're gonna have some voices speak. I brought my Marex hat with me. Can you see all the tents? It goes all the way down the road. And apparently everybody had to move everything once a week. So they come in and pressure wash the cement with cold water. This is what they do every week. Also, too, the police take their tarps if they're not fireproof tarps. So when it rains, it gets really, really bad because, you know, people are just in tents, right? So hold on a minute. Just a bunch of flashing lights. Somebody's hurt. All right, that's Fraser Health Care. This is a two-tiered system, people. Okay? I'm trying to get some housing for my daughter and for some roommates for her. It looks like they're trying to revive somebody. That's what they're doing. Can you see that, people? They're trying to revive somebody. Instead of providing housing, counseling, proper medication, you know, it's all brain trauma-induced health care, right? Dude looking at me as if anyone would know who he is. Nobody's interested in knowing who you are, right? And it just goes on and on. What's that?
Quit filming other people's misfortune, you sick fuck.
Oh no, nobody can see. But I'm talking about this is the Fraser healthcare system. Right? This is what this is. Right? They don't have money, so they get pumped to be put back to life on the streets. If they got money, they get medically kidnapped.
Like this. Well, these people, if they weren't down here, they'd already be dead. Because no one would be around to narc them. reality.
Safety in numbers.
Yeah.
Right. I know. Okay, thank you. Have a good night. As best as you can. As you can see, it goes all the way down. Hold on. Okay, so this is what happens. Like I said, once a week, everybody is forced to empty out their tents, put everything, I guess not on the sidewalk, but in this little space over here. Yeah, there's like 170 people that are out here.
It's fenced all around with a big gate, lock on it.
Yeah, so they put 170 people. Do you have to move your stuff in there too?
Everything, every single thing.
And
They've
the
been
people?
One thing on the oh yeah.
Oh my
Everything
God.
has to be off this strip, or they throw it in the garbage, and they give us less than an hour to do it.
They give you less than an hour.
It's still dark out when they make us do it.
And they come at nighttime and make you do it?
No, they do it first thing in the morning.
Oh,
Don't
first
even
thing in
let
the
us
morning.
have breakfast.
Oh, and they don't give you
even let us
warning the
eat.
day before?
No. Oh yeah, they give us a warning day before, but they come here. It's still we're still it doesn't matter how much warning they give you. It's so early we don't even.
What
get to
time
have
is it?
breakfast. 6 or 7, 6.
At 6
what time?
o'clock. They start at 6
6
with
o'clock.
this. And how cold is it?
Oh, it's cold.
Well,
It's
you know,
usually
yeah.
below
Does
2,
anyone have a
2 below.
thermometer out here?
I know that it's usually. Oh yeah, and our phones are usually around.
Well,
I haven't really looked, but I do know that.
Can you keep track for a week
I
for
will.
me?
I will do just that. Absolutely. I will
What the
definitely
day
tell you.
temperature is and what the morning temperature
I will
is and
tell
what
you
the
exactly what it
midnight
is.
temperature is.
Yeah, I will do that.
3 or 4 times a day.
I'll also tell you what the weather conditions are.
Let's because so they get up at 6 o'clock in the morning after they froze their ass all night sleeping in these tents.
And they give you not even 5 minutes to wake up. Like they
Okay.
they wake you up. It's like now get out of
Right?
bed now.
And then they have to pack everything up, move it over
Move it
there.
over there. Yep.
So you got 170 people in this little lot
That's
over
right.
there. I'll go in there in a minute.
Included.
Right?
I think it's locked up now. Oh no, it's still
And
open.
what's that you have? You only
No,
have
not
2
even-
to
no, they
3
start
hours.
pressure- Not even that. We used to have that much time.
Oh, you used
now
to?
they have
An hour.
They start pressure washing. They're supposed to start at 8 o'clock now,
Okay.
and they're trying to start at 7.
Okay. And then how long does that take?
That takes a little more than half a day. They're not
Half a day. So you're sitting over there for half a day with all your stuff.
3 o'clock sharp.
Okay, it doesn't matter what the weather is. Could be raining, could be 20 below, could be hot,
They
could
wash-
be
pressure
anything.
Wash with cold water.
So right now they're pressure washing the cement with cold water because that's
it's already
supposed to be
below zero.
hygienic.
And,
Even though they've got people living in these conditions.
I don't know about you, but I don't own a pair of skates, so
Here, put this on me.
yeah. I don't own a pair of skates, so I don't know
Okay.
what I'm going to do when it turns into ice rink.
Can you
Here
see?
Go. Yeah.
Can you see?
I can
haven't
see you.
worn my Mayor X hat in a long, long time. It's going to stir up the city. So what does that mean, City of Surrey? Does that mean you're going to come back to my house and start rustling me up and charging my landlord $15,000 because I've got material in my yard to build things? Are we going to start over with that again because I'm out here advocating for the homeless people, right? Because I know what it feels like to quite possibly lose your house and end up out here, as I quite possibly lose my grandson because I'm such a big bad Mayor X. So, no, I've been invited out here, people. I've had people ask me because
Oh,
I'm
yes.
trying to get some housing for my daughter with some of her friends.
I've invited you, and my girlfriend Crystal
Yes,
invited
and
you.
I've had other people the night before while I was out here wanted me to come out here and bring attention to the issues that are going on out here. So this is Surrey Voices right now,
Yeah.
right? This is Surrey Voices, and we're going to stand up for each other, and we're going to work on some solutions here, starting with some housing somehow, some way, with the poorest of the poor, finding our own way, because it's obvious that the city is not taking this serious. Now, I did hear that there was some program under a cash infusion that was supposed to help this situation. Have you heard or seen anything about it?
It's tents. They're giving us tents if we trade in our tents, and they are, as you will find out in a few minutes, the smallest you can imagine. And our entire lives, our entire home is supposed to be packed up in this tiny little 3-man tent, and with one tarp that doesn't even cover that 3-man tent, and that's it. And no heaters, no heat, no nothing, and it's terrible.
Okay, you need to keep track of temperature. We'll be back.
Oh, I
people.
will. You want me to take you to Crystal?
Yep. Okay, so this is about the size of the tent that the city is trying to get people to downsize into. We've got various sizes. If you notice, there are no tarps on them. So we live in British Columbia, Canada, which means we get a fair amount of rain. And when it rains, it pours. So there's not a lot of protection here when it comes to tents. Now I understand what the fire department is trying to do here by, you know, wanting, what do you call this, you know, tarps that are fire retardant,
You know what?
but they should be providing those types of tarps.
They don't even make those tarps in Canada.
Oh, they don't even make those
No,
tarps in
we're
Canada.
being forced by law to have only those tarps. They're not even made in Canada.
So where is this law coming from?
California.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't know where it's coming from.
Is
but I
it
do know
a
tarps
city
from
bylaw?
California.
Is it a provincial bylaw?
Beats me. But I know they're
Is
not
it a
made in
fire
Canada.
code bylaw? Well, we need to find out what this
The fire
bylaw
chief
is.
the one telling us we have to use these.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna come back. Okay,
Hold
so
on.
we're gonna walk down the whole street here, people, because like this is a crisis. This is genocide in Canada. I'm not afraid to say this. Okay, this is genocide in Canada. When you have vulnerable families, vulnerable women, vulnerable children, vulnerable elderly, vulnerable sick people being preyed upon and forced out into the streets to live like this is genocide in Canada. Okay? I am documenting genocide in Canada. What are the police protecting? A whole bunch of immigrants coming in with their billions of dollars, buying up all the property and forcing the most poorest of the poor out into the streets.
By the what?
Okay, so we're just gonna keep on going down because it goes all the way down, people. They finally, 15 years later, they brought 3 porta potties. 15 years later. Look at this. All these people had to put their stuff outside this morning, and it's like nighttime. Do you see this? Okay? This stuff was pushed out into some little hideout, little cubby somewhere at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, 12 hours later, and the stuff is still out on the road. These people are living outside. They're taking away their heaters, they're taking away their candles, they're taking away anything to keep themselves warm, and they expect them to use hot water bottles. People are freezing out here with hot water bottles. That's what's happening out here, people. Genocide in Canada. Hey, I'm doing a video, Bill. What happened to you today? You were supposed to come do some work for me.
I don't have a fucking tent. I have to move.
You don't have a tent?
I don't have a tent. I have to move 4 people every fucking time.
You have to move 4 people every time, and you don't even have a tent. Okay, do you see this, people? Look at this. All the way down, the whole block. And this is safety in numbers right now. The people are coming together because it's so cold that if something happens, there's somebody there to keep an eye on them, okay? But what about the ones that are somewhere else out there that don't have no one watching them? Genocide in Canada. Where's your horses?
There you go.
Okay, people, so let's just imagine this is my tent, okay? For all these people that cause all this trouble for me and my family and my children, Fraser Health Authority, CIPC Bank, is this really where you want me to be? Is this why you don't want to deal with the issues that I put under my notice of claim in terms of how the healthcare system is a 2-tiered system? The ones with no money get absolutely no help, but the ones with money go suddenly disappearing, get knocked on the head, lose their fucking memory, and get tucked away like a damn dirty secret?
Good.
And you want to sit up there and say this is not genocide in Canada?
It's so small compared to when you stand up. Holy. Look at that.
This
Look
is
how
the
tiny
size
that
of tent
is.
that they want people to be brought down to, people.
And you're like 5
With
feet
no
tall.
heat.
No heat.
Absolutely
Nothing.
no heat. A hot water bottle, which is actually you said people are starting
Yeah,
to
they
freeze
freeze.
out here.
The water bottle freezes through the night because it's so cold. And they end up with a frozen water bottle next to them. That's what happened to me last year. And look at the
And these tarps that they're providing don't even cover the tent. And they don't make these tarps in Canada. So where do these tarps come from?
They come from California.
They come from California.
When you go to my tent, the white one has a tag hanging off it. Tells you where it's from.
Okay, and your name?
Crystal.
Okay, I'm in Crystal's tent here, people, and like it is so cold. It's almost like it's colder in here than it is outside.
I know.
I don't know why that would be,
It is. It's weird, eh?
but it feels that way.
Yeah.
And this is her stuff. You can't see it. She's lighting a candle for me, which she's technically not allowed to do anymore.
Yeah.
When did that rule come in? Today?
No, it came in. Oh shit. My fucking back.
Do you have a lighter?
Yeah.
I can light this match, hopefully.
Here. This is genocide in Canada. I've been told that there's more people out here all the time, coming more and more. There was just a bunch of stuff over here. These people over there lost their house and they're just out here now. Okay? Because there's no affordable housing. Because the houses are being pillaged with overseas buyers right now that are making the rents unaffordable. And they're forcing out vulnerable families so that the houses can go up for sale so that the rents become unaffordable, people. Do you see this? So this took you had to clear out all this morning.
Yes.
And then you do this once a week.
Yes.
Do you mind? You don't mind being on the camera?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. So every once a week you have to push everything out,
Yes.
and then
They make us do, basically clear it out, bring it into the compound, so they can clean one side of the fucking street. One side.
okay.
Why not the other side?
Why not the other side?
Yeah, they never clean the other side of the street, and they also they don't let us pitch our tents on the other side of the street either. Just
Okay.
this side where all the rats are.
Okay, so, and they use cold water, which you feel, or maybe this other woman feels that the cold water is not doing the job in terms of disinfecting.
No. It's
Right?
not.
It's not.
Exactly.
So you think it's more for show than anything else?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's not doing us any good, really, by cleaning the streets. If it is because of the rats, how I see it, I think they're just smearing their fucking dirtiness around.
Well, yeah, just like
Basically.
cut it to the chase, right? Like
Yeah.
hard to the, like just
Yeah.
be real about it. So, okay, so what's preventing you from getting housing?
There's no affordable housing out there right now for a single person.
A single person
Yeah.
on low income.
On low income. Exactly.
Yeah, no, there's no rooms for rent.
No.
I know. A very, very limited amount of rooms for rent. Apartments are unaffordable now. 2-bedroom apartments are going for $10.50.
Yeah.
Where back in the day you could get a 2-bedroom or even back in the day, like 10 years ago, I guess you could say you could get one for $5.50.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
7 years ago, 2 bedrooms were going for $8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now they're like the cheap. Well, actually, the $10.50 is the low ball. 2 bedrooms are normally going for $1,200.
Yeah.
11 to 1,200, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the issue. You just and is there?
No affordable housing. Yeah.
So what about BC housing? Are they offering people any housing?
No, they're not offering anybody. They came down maybe a month ago and offered us to fill out an application, which we have, I haven't heard anything since from them. Like,
No.
I haven't heard if I've been accepted or approved or.
They didn't give you any kind of timeline.
No, nothing.
And then how long have you been living like this for?
Off and on.
Off and on.
Off and on, 10 years.
Off and on. So this last recent bout, how long have you been out here?
Out here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say about 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
You have not been in any kind of housing for 4 years. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, that just breaks my heart. How do you manage?
I don't know. I just do. It's hard. It's a really rough go. I just got to stay strong and try to keep my head above water, or keep my head up, and try to stay positive, even though sometimes it's a pretty rough go, and times are tough and times are hard. I mean, I've seen so many walks of life out here. I've seen all different walks of life. I've seen people come from good families, come down here and just basically hit rock bottom, it seems like, and
Hit rock bottom out here.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It is rock bottom.
it is.
I mean, come on. Who can get better out here?
Yeah.
This is a mindfuckery.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this is genocide in Canada. This is brain trauma, induced brain trauma,
Yeah.
just by your living conditions.
Yeah.
Okay? And then they keep you in those conditions. Like, I don't, like, there's a cop shop, right? Like, they moved in where the garden was. I put a community garden in there in 2008. It was beautiful.
Oh, I know.
And then they came in and they tore it all up, brought in a bunch of fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Right? Then they gated it off for a few years.
Yeah.
And now they've built themselves some little, what is that over across the street with the cops? What is that? It's not a cop shop.
Yeah, no, it's a portable cop.
For what?
Whatever, yeah. For them to house themselves, basically.
As they watch?
Yeah, as they watch.
What are they watching for?
They don't bring people in there to arrest them or anything. They bring them to the police station by Highway 57.
Yeah, so what are they watching for? Like, it seems like a dysfunctional relationship between the police and the people out here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I have not figured this one out yet.
Yeah. I know, we haven't either. Did you see the little gazebo they built themselves
No.
to as well?
No, I didn't see that yet.
There's a little gazebo right in front of their little cop shop there by the gate there. That, I don't imagine how many hundreds of dollars they wasted on that thing that they never use.
They never use.
Yeah.
They just...
It's just, built for fucking looks when they could have spent that
Like,
money?
I don't get it. I don't understand why the police enable the abuse of human beings. Because this is abusive.
Yeah.
It's very cold and it's not even winter yet.
Yeah.
Right? And then when the rains come, it's bad.
Oh, yeah. You should see them in the mornings, how they treat people. Oh, it's fucking... You think this is bad? You should see how they treat people in the morning when they do their wake-up call. This morning, they had there's a couple police officers. I'm not going to point fingers which ones and mention any names to who they are. They know who they are. Anyways, they're assholes. They turn on their fucking sirens, to wake us up.
Where do they expect you to go? That's the thing. Okay, let's talk about the healthcare system. I filed a lawsuit against Fraser Health Authority because they medically kidnapped my stepdad for his money. As they ignore my daughter, give her a quick whatever they do in the hospital, and then send her out into the streets knowing that she's homeless. Right? On the verge of death.
Oh, wow.
Basically. And they call that quality health care. And they say that they do nothing wrong because they represent the individual. But I don't see how Fraser Health is helping with this situation. If anything, I think they're enabling. What is your opinion on the healthcare system and what's going on out here?
You're absolutely right. I think they do too. Just about once they find out that you're homeless or an addict.
Okay.
Oh, you get treated like a big sack of shit. Like
Yeah.
you're a piece of garbage. They don't even want to fucking come near you.
Okay.
Like last time I was in there, and they found out that I had Hep C and that I was homeless and that I was an HIV drug user. They fucking started coming at me with hazmat suits.
Okay.
And I felt so fucking just like a piece of shit,
So you have HIV?
No, I don't have HIV. I'm Hep C.
Oh, Hep C, yeah, because you said HIV.
I'm sorry, Hep C. I
Hep
had
C.
Hep C.
Okay, but that's what they're trained for.
Yeah.
They're trained to help people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Hep C can be contracted from blood transfusions because my daughter is bleeding out and she has to go for blood transfusions quite regularly, almost monthly. Right after they scrape her off the cement when they find her, if she's not dead by that point, and they give her a blood transfusion, and then they send her on her merry way, and they send a little notice in the mail saying that because of the blood transfusion you may have come into contact with, blood pathogens that have nothing to do with addiction. So, being that if she was to come down with Hep C through the blood transfusion, it would be very convenient for them to say, oh, no, you didn't get it from us. You got it from your life on the streets. So is that not hypocritical?
Yeah.
Right?
I would say so.
So, but the bottom line is that you're just saying that they do not treat you very well within the healthcare system at all. So they don't offer counseling.
Nope.
They don't offer housing.
Nope.
They don't offer proper medications.
No.
No? Nothing to help you stabilize.
Nothing to help you stabilize yourself at all. They just want to get rid of you, just brush you under the carpet, basically.
To give you the bare bones and then push you out.
Yeah.
And then hope they don't see you again.
Yeah.
Are you listening to this, people? What was so special about Uncle John? 76 years old, had a family, you know, he'd been with them for 23 years, right? I know what it was. It was a $3,000 a month pension plan and quite possibly a superannuation life plan, superannuation life insurance policy that his family thought that they could put their fingers in, but Uncle John wasn't stupid. He forfeited on that life insurance policy because he knew exactly what his union family members were like in terms of they go for the money. Even though they work in the healthcare system, they're not serving the public. They work for themselves. This is genocide in Canada. And the union is fostering that entitlement mentality where they think that when it's their turn, they're going to be safe. And I'll talk more about this at home. But these are the things I talk about on my YouTube channel, right? Because I'm kind of like having my own issues. But this you just don't know, people. Like, I haven't been out here because I've been like harassed by the city myself, just trying to keep up with my own, not losing my house. But I'm a targeted individual because I speak out about these things. I spoke out about these things before I became a targeted individual. And then as soon as they took my stepdad, and I wouldn't shut up about that, I really became a targeted individual. So I get targeted by the city, I get targeted by MCFD. I've had MCFD come to my house 3 times because of my people complaining this. You know what they came to my house last time for? 2 screws in a rail. 2 screws in a rail.
Oh, wow.
City shows up, I bring in building materials, I have toys in my yard, city shows up, next thing you know it, I'm like working like a dog for 45 days straight. Because it's mindfuckery. It's mindfuckery. They don't want the truth to go out that this is genocide in Canada, and it really needs to be. It needs to be spoken out more. Like, you guys need to talk about how this is genocide.
Right.
Do you not feel that this is genocide against your persons?
Yes.
Do you know what genocide means? It means when another group moves into the country or into the area and starts wiping out the indigenous ones that were born in that country or in that area.
Oh, definitely.
Okay? This is genocide. All these people out here are born in Canada.
Yes.
Maybe you might get 1 or 2 that come from a different country, but the majority of them are born in Canada. And they're not getting the proper healthcare system. They're not getting the proper housing. They're not getting anything, people. What they do is they get harassed by the police every day or once a week.
Every day.
Every day you get harassed by the police every day.
Just about, pretty much, yeah. Every day someone's getting harassed for something, whether it be the tarp on their tent or too much of your belongings. You gotta get thrown out. They want you to sometimes like every time this cleanup thing comes around, they're forcing us to fucking throw out stuff that we possess and we don't want to throw out.
But they know you're sick.
Yeah.
They know you need help.
Yeah.
They know you need housing,
Yes.
counseling, or whatever it is. Just a supportive. Just someone just to lean on and talk and it's hard to build on your life when it's being torn apart.
Yes. And it's hard to even just stay afloat when they're constantly on your back, stepping on your fucking head trying to drown you. It just seems like that every time that we do this cleanup thing, which happens once a week. It's sad. It's really sad. I've seen people. I've seen them slice people's tents up for no reason.
For no reason.
Last week, they sliced this poor girl's tent up for no fucking reason. I don't know why they did that. And then they were gonna fucking arrest them for fucking getting mad and ornery about fucking what they just did to their home. You know, like, now where in the fuck are they gonna sleep now? You know, their tent just got sliced up. They actually did that to mine last summer. They sliced up my fucking tent. Fucking, there was my sister came down here to visit, and one of her friends was with her, and I guess he was on drugs of some sort. I think it's called G. So he G-holed in my tent. And I told the police officer they came around for that cleanup thing or the wake up call, and I told them, well, there's this young boy who's or man who's holding my tent. I go, can you drag him out by his feet? You gotta drag him out by his feet. I said, he's fine. He's not ODing or anything. They weren't listening to me. They wanted to fucking Narcan a kid that didn't need to be fucking Narcan. And instead of pulling him out by his feet, they fucking sliced my fucking tent up to get him out. I couldn't believe it. I was like appalled.
So what do you think these cops are trying to accomplish?
I don't know. I think they get their kicks out of it. I've actually heard a few of them laughing, actually.
As they do it.
Yeah. And my neighbor Bruce, I guess he had his door got wrecked on his tent, and so he put a smaller tent inside of his bigger tent, right, just to keep warmer, right, because his door was ruined. Right?
Yeah, layer. Yeah.
And they were standing over by my tent, fucking harassing him yesterday morning, and they were fucking laughing about, how he's gonna have a rummage sale, and like they were just fucking cracking jokes left, right, and center about him and his belongings and how his tent's gotta go, and like just awful treatment, making fun of him, and it was just not nice at all.
That's what I mean. Like, it's such a weird relationship. They're across the street. For whatever reason, they built their little gazebo on a land that hundreds of, not maybe hundreds, but quite a few people have died on that property over the years.
Yeah.
Like probably 30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
Over the years, in the last 20 years, 30 or 40 people have died on this property that these police have built something on so that they can monitor these people and harass them every day.
Yeah.
Every day, people, every day. And you cannot tell me this is not genocide in Canada. So we're going to leave it on that note, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Look at that, people. This is how people eat because they're hungry.
Yep.
Okay, so you need to talk to Crystal because I asked her to do something for me. She'll explain it to you later, okay? Okay, so I'm going to come back in a couple of days from now, all right?
I definitely do. Thank you.
But in the meantime, you keep working on that paperwork, okay?
I will, for sure.
All right, and talk to Bill too. I don't know, he's running around upset right now.
Oh, yeah.
But something happened. He doesn't have a tent, but he's...
Narcan.
Huh?
Someone needed to be Narcan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you.
Okay. Where's the affordable housing, people? It's probably, I don't know how cold it is, but it's pretty freaking cold. And it was colder, even much colder, 4 days ago. It was so cold that... Look at this, all the way down. All the way down. Genocide in Canada. I'll say it again and again and again and again. No, I'm sorry.